All right. All right, so I want to get right into it. I'm not waiting around to talk because I'm going to jump right in. Um, just want to clarify a couple of things because somebody sent me an inbox which was kind of odd. Because the statement, you know how sometimes when people try to compliment you and then they low key try to throw shade at you at the same time. So somebody inboxes me this morning who I haven't seen any message from them. They claim they sent me a message 7 months ago. I never saw any message from them. But they claim, I appreciate how you help people in the community, but you pick and choose. That's what they said. Oh, you pick and choose. Let me clarify a few things. I generally don't respond when people throw shade like that. I generally don't. But I feel the need to clarify some things because I think a lot of people have mixed information. I don't think they understand because they see how hard I work. And because they see how hard I work in the community, they have certain preconceived notions. And I'm sure there's people out there in the community fueling that, hoping to get people to look at me a different way. But I just want to clarify some stuff. Let me drink my tea first, because I got some tea to spill this morning. But first of all, I want to make something very clear to you. I am a volunteer, right? The position that I have on the Board of Education is a volunteer position. So any work that I do, and I'm constantly working, is all volunteer. There is absolutely no salary with that. The work that I do as a community activist, fighting for families, fighting for people in the neighborhoods, all of that work is volunteer. And you know what? I'm not saying that I'm upset because it's volunteer, because if I wanted to do this work for money, I would never have done it. And I've been doing this work for 12 years. So it has nothing to do with the money part. It has something to do with fighting for the community. But let me make it very plain to you. I am one person who receives hundreds of requests every day, just about every day, about issues in the community, about things that they need help on, things that they need me to help them work on, issues with potholes. I receive messages and calls about issues in the city that people are actually getting paid to address but don't address. Let me say it again. I receive phone calls and text messages and things about issues that are happening in the community, and they're looking for me to address those issues, and those issues are supposed to be addressed by people who are actually getting paid to address those issues. And I'll do it. When they reach out to me, I'll make sure that I get it done. When they contact me, I'll make sure I get it done. I'm saying all of that to say this. As I said previously, I am one person. I know when y'all see the work and see all the stuff that I do, you might think that I have a large team of people. I do not have a huge team of people. There's maybe one or two other people that assist me. Sebastian Mejia is my right-hand man. And then I have a couple of other people in the community that help me as well. But for the most part, most of this work I do on my own. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy. I'm not going to say that it's, that it's light work to try to balance being a community activist, being an elected official, having, a child with autism, having a high school. Well, both my kids are in high school, but having, my daughter who's a junior in high school now, she's getting ready to go, preparing for college. I have so much stuff going on in my life on a personal level, and yet I find time to divide that time to do the community work and to do the work on the Board of Education. So somehow I have to take one person, because I'm only one person, I have to take my one self and I have to divide it amongst 5 and 6 and 7 other tasks all at the same time. And often I have to do that every single day. So my day starts off 6 a.m., 5:45 sometimes 6 a.m. I'm already getting inbox messages and I'm already getting DMs about issues that are going on with, with some students or issues that are going on in the community. I'm telling you, 6 o'clock in the morning, that's when I start my day, because that's when I start getting information and start getting phone calls about what's going on in the city. And I work hard to address those issues. And let me make it clear, I'm doing the work of people in the city that are getting paid to do the work, but are not doing the work. I'm gonna keep saying it. I am doing the work of people who are getting paid from the city of Patterson to do the work, but are not doing the work. So when people say things like, I appreciate how you work in the community and how you help people, but you pick and choose, like, how dare you say something like that? How do you tell a person who, it was only one person, or you have to address every single person that reaches out to you, or else? How does one person do that? None of y'all on this live can do everything by yourself. Not a single person on this live can do everything by yourself. None of us. It would be absolutely absurd to think that one person can take on every single thing and there's no way that's possible. So I want y'all to know, if you don't hear from me right away, or if you don't, a lot of times if you're not following me or we're not friends on Facebook and you send me a message, it doesn't go directly to my inbox. It goes to, I think it's called requests or something like that. Y'all know how the process works. If you inbox somebody and you're not friends with them on Facebook, that message doesn't go to their direct inbox. It goes to some other inbox. And I'm between the messages I get in my direct inbox and the messages that come to that other inbox for people that don't follow you, it's unbelievable and it's overwhelming at times. That's why I have to make sure that I stay on top of my health. That's why I have to make sure that I watch what I eat. That's why I have to make sure that I take those 10,000 steps every day. That's why I have to make sure that I take time to pray and to meditate and to just, shut down my mind and try my best to concentrate on things that are going on in my personal life so I don't lose track about what's happening around me. So there is a huge battle that I have to face on a daily basis just to make sure that I'm on point with everything that's going on with me and then addressing everything that's going on in the community. Let me tell y'all this, back in June, when I was in the nursing home after having that medical emergency, I was sitting up in the nursing home still making phone calls because people were reaching out to me about situations that were happening in the community. And I had people hit me up saying, why are you still doing that when you're in the hospital or when you're sick? People would tell me, put your phone down so you can rest. You need to rest. You're already in the hospital. You're in the hospital still, taking phone calls and still trying to help people when you're in the hospital. I was laying up in the hospital with tubes all in me, still trying to find ways to help people that were reaching out to me and contacting me about various issues. So don't come to me with slick comments like that. I don't appreciate it, because the work that I put in this community is not paid work. The work that I put in this community does not come with a paycheck. It is just me doing the work. And I have, like I said, I have a few people around me that assist me every day to get the work done. And I still manage to do as much as I can with what I have each and every day. Okay? Because that's what I do. And that's all I can do as one person. So when you're reaching out to me, I don't have aides. I don't have assistants. I don't have, a huge team of people, walking around with me. It's basically me. And then I have maybe one or two other people that I could call on if I need them to, to take me somewhere, or we need to address an issue and I can't get there right away. I have maybe one or two other people that I could reach out to and get things done. All right. And then I know, I'm almost certain there's some so-called leaders in the community that got folks trying to do this nonsense, because it's an election season. Yeah, I'm running for re-election for the school board. I'm not going to be shy about that. I'm not going to stray away from that. I absolutely am, because I bring a level of commitment to this position that not a lot of people bring, and that's a fact. I put in work. I work, and like I said, a lot of people make fun of it because I work so hard as a school board member. People think that I get paid to be a school board. That's not a paid position, at least not in Patterson. I don't know about other places, but in Patterson, a school board member is a volunteer. But the amount of work that I put in, people think that I'm getting paid to do it, and I'm not. I just want to make sure y'all are aware of that. I am not. Okay? But I do the work because I feel like it's the right thing to do. When I first got involved with the school board, it was back in 2009 it started. 2009, 2010, when I started receiving phone calls from the PTO and my daughter's child study team, caseworker, when she informed me that services for my daughter was going to be cut because the governor had found a way to streamline the services. And in doing so, he wanted it to be about equality, but it did not address the issue of equity. And equity meaning that there wasn't enough services for the special needs students in Patterson to cover the services that they need. And we still are facing some of those issues to this very day. But that's what got me involved. That's what first got me involved in advocacy in terms of the school district. And that's going back to 2009, 2010. That was a while ago. So, and then I first was elected to the school board in 2012. And from that point up until now and beyond, I'm still putting in that work, man. I have not stopped since that day advocating for the community. Now, am I going to be able to please everybody? That's not going to happen. I'm letting you know that right now. Am I going to be able to please everybody? No, not at all. But I am one person. And that seems to be acceptable for everyone else but me. I get it. I know I work hard and I know I put in a lot of work. But they expect from me, one person, they expect me to do the work of 20 people. And that's not even logical. Let's be honest. Let's just be real with each other. They're expecting one person, me, to do the work of 25 people. That's not possible. I am one person. And my commitment is to do as much as I can with the power and the strength that God gives me. That is, what I can bring. But understand, I am one person. And I'm doing the best I can with what God gives me. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job because there's a lot of people, because for the one or two people who have those slick comments, there's hundreds of people who know the work that I do and appreciate the work that I do. I want to make that very clear. Matter of fact, there are thousands of people who appreciate the work that I do because they see how hard it is. The other night, when the issue happened with the De Jesus family at 1:30 in the morning, I didn't see any community leaders down there. I know. Let me take that back. There was one. G. Greer showed up. But let's make it clear, man. When things come up in the community and when there are issues in the community and people reach out to me, I get there and I do what I got to do. And I am not about to apologize for doing that and being that way. But I'm not going to sit back and let people try to, make slick comments and say, I appreciate the work that you do, but you pick and choose. Nah, that's not true. That's a lie. And that's all there is to it. That is a lie. I can show you documentation to prove that's a lie. It's a lie. Because I do the work of 10, 15 people in this community, and I do it by myself. That's why my health constantly was at issue. You know why my health was failing the way it was? You know why? Because I wasn't taking the time out to make sure that I was good. I was running around Patterson, making sure everybody else was all right, and I was ignoring my own health. Wasn't eating right, wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, wasn't resting enough, and my health began to deteriorate because I was taking all my energy and all my strength and everything that I had, I was taking it and I was using it for the community, and I was not making sure that I was okay. After that incident in June, when I had to spend time in the hospital and then time in the nursing home, I said, wait a minute, I have to pull back a little bit and make sure that I'm okay. Because if I'm not okay, who's going to watch over my kids? Who's going to make sure my kids are good if I'm not here anymore? So I got to make sure that my kids are good too. So I had to learn how to balance between community work and making sure that my body was good so that I could be able to be who I need to be, because I can't help y'all if I can't help myself. If my health isn't where it's supposed to be, how in the world can I help you if my health is not where it's supposed to be? How in the world can I help you if I'm walking around pushing a wheelchair or something because my health is not where it's supposed to be? So I had to take some time to make sure that my health is where it needs to be. Not just physically, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I mean, the whole gamut. As far as last night, the family knew where I was last night. Every single year in October, they have the school board convention. This is every single year. For the last 70 years, the school board convention has been October 24th to the 26th for the last 70 years. So it's not something that just happened yesterday. The family know, I made it very clear to them, so they already know. So anybody that tried, because I know there were some people that tried to approach them last night and, oh, where's Corey at? And so on. Trust me, bro. Family already knows. They already knows, and I've been rocking with them from day one, and I will continue to stand up for that family until they get justice for Felix. I'm not going to back away from that either. These are all cases that I am working on, and I'm going to continue to work on. And families that continue to reach out to me, I'm going to help them too. But if you reach out to me the first time, and you don't hear like a response back, there are ways to reach out to me. If you can't reach out to me, if you can't get me right away, and you know that, there are ways. You can tag me in a post on Facebook, and perhaps I'll see that. You can even reach out to 90 Delaware Ave and have them call me directly. Or I'm sure if you guys know Sebastian Mejia, you can reach out to Sebastian Mejia. He knows how to get in touch with me directly. There are ways to reach me directly. But to say that I don't, that I'm picking and choosing, it's not even a matter of picking and choosing. It's a matter of having a workload and having so many people that reach out to you and so many people that you have to pour into because you have so many different issues going on in the community. And being one person and trying to address all of that can be a task. I'm not saying that it's impossible, and I'm not saying that I'm not doing it, because I am doing it. But I want to make y'all aware I am one person who receives hundreds of calls every day, inbox messages in the thousands. And I do my best with what I have and what God has given me to make sure that I'm able to address all of those issues. And that's the best that I'm able to provide. And I don't think you're going to get that from too many other people. There isn't too many other people out there that are going to take that much time and effort to reach out to the community. There aren't too many people out there. I'm not saying that there's nobody out there that's willing to do it, but there isn't that many out here that are that committed to the community and that committed to making sure that, folks who need help or need assistance can receive the assistance and help that they need. There isn't too many people out there that's going to put everything on the line to make sure that the community has what they need. You're not going to have too many people like that. I want y'all to understand that. And, that's the thing. We know we live in a society where people know the price of everything but the value of nothing. They know the price of everything but the value of nothing. When you have somebody in your midst that is willing to put everything on the line to fight for you, that's not the kind of person that you want to lose, that you want to give up. That's not the kind of person that you want to put away. When you have a person that's rocking with the community and fighting hard for the community, despite being attacked verbally, despite being criticized, despite being called all kinds of names, y'all got to see some of the text messages I receive from some of these people that, and you know what? And the thing is, when they text me, they use those text now numbers. They don't even use numbers that you can trace. The unknown numbers that call. I get unknown numbers. I get private numbers that call that you can't trace the number. You can't see. And they call with these crazy messages and crazy. Y'all got to see how it gets. But despite all of that, I'm still out here fighting for the community. And I truly hope you appreciate that, because you're not going to get that from too many people. And y'all know that. That's why you reach out to me, because you know you're not going to get that from a lot of people. There's people in Patterson right now who are getting paid to do the work that y'all call on me to do, and I get it done, and I don't get paid to do it. And they're the ones that actually getting paid to do the work, and they're not doing it. That's why y'all reach out to me. And when you reach out to me, I make sure that it gets done. Now, listen, sure, once you reach out to me and then I reach out to the people that need to understand and know the situation, now, if they don't reach back out to you, then it may take a little longer, because then I have to reach out to them again. And then there's some situations that just can't be rectify, because there's certain laws in place that won't allow it. Like that time when I went with a parent, well, it wasn't an in-person meeting, it was virtual, but I attended a Zoom meeting with a parent, because their child had an IEP that wasn't being fulfilled, and I, attended the IEP session, and interjected, and I, and spoke up for the parent, and so on and so forth, and not even a week later, less than a week, maybe 3 days later, I received a letter in the mail basically saying that, under ethics laws as a board member, you're not allowed to actually be in the IEP session. So I had to find other ways to make sure that parents were informed, to know what questions to ask, to know. And that's another thing I need to make sure. We don't have 3 students in the district with special needs, just so y'all know that. There are hundreds of students in the district with IEPs. Hundreds. Let me make that very clear to you. Hundreds. So it's not like there's only 1 or 2 students in the district. There are hundreds. So the workload of trying to get all of that done, and trying to reach back out to the parents that reach out to me, and then trying to make sure that connection is made between them and the district, and then trying to make sure that there's a follow through, and then trying to make sure that your answers are answered, correctly, and make sure you get the right information, and then making sure to do a follow up to make sure that things are going correctly and that the process is going smoothly. All of that on top of now doing community work and making sure that the families, I'm advocating on behalf of them. And then on top of that, making sure that my family situation is straight, that my kids I'm just giving y'all an idea of what I do in a single day as one person. So don't get the idea that I have a whole huge team of people that can just get the work done, that we're sitting in some office somewhere chilling out with our feet, sitting on a desk somewhere relaxing. That's not what it is. I'm out here by myself. I got one or 2 people, and I keep bringing his name up because y'all need to look him up because he's going somewhere. His name is Sebastian Mejia. Y'all need to look that name up because that young man, I'm telling you, he's a force to be reckoned with, and he is going places. But other than that, I have people in the community that reach out to me to let me know what's going on, to let me know what's happening, and let me know what I need to be aware of so that I can get out there and I can address those issues. I have people in the community that call me to let me know when certain things take place because I don't even drive. So wherever I go, I got to walk. So I can't be everywhere. Sometimes people inbox me. They say, how you didn't know about this, or how you didn't know about what happened on 12th Ave or Governor's Street. I don't have a car. I don't live anywhere near that area. I live downtown. So I can't just hop in a car and race somewhere. I don't drive. Wherever I go, I got to walk. So if you call me to come to a certain area and you're wondering, oh, he didn't get here in 2 minutes. How am I supposed to get there in 2 minutes? I'm walking. I'm walking a lot faster than I used to, but I walk. I do not drive. I don't drive anywhere. But people will reach out to me and they'll let me know when certain things are going on and certain things that need to be addressed, and I'll make sure that those things are being addressed. All right? The same way that I'm advocating on behalf of the De Jesus family, there are other families as well that I'm advocating for who just don't want their name and their information to be put out there. Let me say that. There are families that I'm advocating for right now who do not want their name and their information to be put out in the newspaper. They don't want to come to the council meetings because they don't really feel like the council is going to help them. And they really don't want their information to be broadcast. There are some families I'm helping that don't want that. And they went through some issues with the Patterson Police Department, but they do not want to be published that way. Now, the De Jesus family said, they said, do whatever you got to do. Send it to the news, send it to the media, do whatever it is you got to do to get the word out. That's why I did it. But don't think that because there's some other families that I didn't put that information out is because I just chose not to. No. If a family tells me that they don't want their information published and they don't want their story published, I cannot put it out there. That's just the bottom line. Because every time a family or an individual reaches out to me with an issue, especially when it has anything to do with like the city, the first question I ask them is, do you want your story to be public? Do you want your story to go to the media? Do you want your story to go, to the press? And do you want it to be, publicized and on TV and so forth? Do you want your story to go out to the masses, or do you want it just to be handled privately? There are some families that say, they're on the fence. They have to get back to me, and they don't get back to me about that part. And then there are some families that say, no, we'd rather it be private. We want to handle the situation, but we don't really want it to be we don't want it to be in the press right now. We don't want it to be in the newspaper. We don't want it to be on the news right now. So I respect that, and I don't put it out there. So it's not a matter of picking and choosing. It's all based on the family and the individual. There's some individuals that reached out to me, okay, because of issues they went through with the police. Individuals. But they did not want their name and their face and stuff out there in the news because they felt that they would be retaliated against. So they did not want. So basically, we worked with them behind the scenes because they did not want their information out. Again, if an individual or a family says they don't want their information to be publicized or they don't want their story to be public, then I cannot just say, the heck with it. I'm still going to put it in the news, or I'm still going to reach out to the media. That's not how that works. If they tell me that they want their story to be put out and they want people to know and understand what happened, then you're absolutely right. I'm going to reach out to my media contacts and put it out there. And that's my daily life in a nutshell. So please, I understand that it's frustrating. I have a child with autism. I understand. I know the situation, man. But understand, I'm not just sitting in a dark room somewhere with nothing to do. My phone rings constantly. My inbox is full. My email account is full. I think right now I got 30,000 emails in my account, in my Gmail account. My emails are full. My text message inbox is full. Facebook, Instagram, everything is full because folks constantly reach out to me, and I appreciate them reaching out to me because that gives me the work to do to assist them and advocate for them. But please don't think that I'm ignoring people and that I don't want to help this one or I'm choosing to help that one. That's absurd. That doesn't even make any sense. How is that possible when I'm only one person and I'm only able to handle? I can only do so much in a single day. There's only 24 hours in the day. And those 24 hours are divided into 3 sections of 8 hours each. So pretty much you sleep for about, I never sleep for 8 hours. But let's just say in theory, you sleep for 8 hours and you're up for 16, right? How much can one person get done in 16 hours with hundreds of people that are reaching out? You can assist folks, but you're not going to be able to get to everybody in the same day. You're going to have to spread it out, and you're going to have to look at, just like if you went to the emergency room and they were short-staffed, what do they have to do? Everybody that comes in the emergency room says they have an emergency. Everybody. But if they're short-staffed, they have to take the most serious cases, and then they have to work their way to the cases that might not be as serious. They have to start figuring out which case to do, which case to work on immediately. But it's impossible to work on every case immediately when you're only one person. There's no way that's possible. If y'all know a way to do it, let me know. I'm always up to learn how to do that. If you guys know how to take on hundreds of cases as one person and get it all done in an 8-hour period, if y'all know how to do that, let me know. Because seriously, let me know. If you know how to take on hundreds of cases as only one person, and you know how to take care of hundreds of cases and get hundreds of cases done in one day as one person, if y'all know how to do that, let me know. Because I'm all ears. I think I'm doing a very good job, though. I'm not looking down on myself. I'm doing a very good job. Considering everything that I'm up against, and considering the so-called leaders that I'm up against, I think I'm doing a very good job fighting in this community. I think I'm doing a very good job. I have no problem patting myself on the back because I get up every single day, even while I was down here, every single day, I get up trying to find a way to assist the families that reach out to me. That's every single day. So, again, I'm only addressing that today because I don't address those messages. I don't even, but I'm addressing that one because I want to clarify and clear the air. to make you understand and make you aware that I am one person. One person who has the responsibility of making sure that so many cases are taken care of and handled. And that's why I wanted to get on here and say that, because I felt the need to clarify that. You got to clarify some things, because sometimes when things are put out there and you don't clarify it, you give it a chance to fester and grow, and that type of nonsense, I'm not allowing that. That's not going to work, because I dedicate 85% of my time to advocating for the community. 85% of my time to advocating for the community. So I'm not going to let anybody try to misconstrue that and try to downgrade the amount of work that I put into this community by saying I pick and choose who that. That's not true. It's not true. Everybody who comes to me, I'll find a way to advocate for them. Whether I have the answer right then and there, or whether the answer is a little more complicated and we have to reach out to the district office and get information from them. So it's not going to not every person that comes to you has the same issue. Let's talk about that. Not every person that comes to you has the same issue. I mean it's very simple. If everybody got the same issue, then you have the same answer, because it's the same issue. If everybody comes to you with the same problem, then all you would need is one answer, because everybody got the same problem. But everybody has a different situation. Everybody has a different issue that they're dealing with, and each issue and each situation has its own level of complexity to it. So one issue may be an easy fix. Just make a phone call, and that happens plenty of times. I'll get a phone call or I'll get a text message. I'll give Ms. Schaefer, the superintendent, a phone call, and the situation is resolved. That's an easy fix. But then you may have a situation that's more complicated. Then you have to take additional steps, reach out to the superintendent, set up a meeting between the superintendent and the parent, and try to find out if it's all right, legally for me to attend the meeting, before there's any ethics issues, and go from it that way. Then there's issues where DYFS is involved. That's another layer, because I've had people reach out to me because DYFS was involved. That's another issue. So when DYFS is involved, I can't go walking down to 100 Hamilton Plaza and then go upstairs to DYFS office and say, "Hi, I'm Corey Teague, and I understand you came and got their children. Well, I'm telling you to give them back." Like, come on, y'all. Seriously? I mean, there's ways to advocate and to speak up, but that type of situation is different. That situation goes through the courts, and there's different things that you have to do before, once they come into your house. I've had people call them on me, man. People have called them on me. Okay, so trust me, I know about all of it. There isn't anything that I don't know about. Okay, in terms of the different situations and things that can arise. But I do my best. I think I do my level best to make sure that I address issues that are sent to me, and I do it in a timely fashion, on top of trying to get everything else done and being in school, going through some issues with trying to, in terms of finances for that. There's some issues with that. And those of y'all that are in school, there's some issues that I'm dealing with financial aid with that. It's not the grades. I'm on the dean's list constantly, but it's issues with the finances with that. So there's so many layers of issues that I'm dealing with. And I don't even have anybody I can call. See, at least y'all have somebody you can call. You have somebody you can reach out to, and that's me. I don't really have a lot of people that I can reach out to. And seriously, I don't. And that's no slate against anybody, but it's just a reality. So I'm in the process of handling situations that I'm dealing with, and then on top of that, making sure that the community is good. So please don't say things like I pick and choose, because that's not fair. Let's be honest. That's not fair. I'm one person, and it's impossible to think that one person can handle that amount of work by themselves, because now you're not being fair. If you don't like a person personally, that's fine. That's your business. You don't have to like somebody if you don't. That's, nobody can require you to like anybody. That's different. And and that's fine. But don't be unfair. And trying to make it look like one person has to do everything is not fair. Okay? Trying to say that me as one person has to do everything and me as one person cannot or does not get to have a break, or me as one person does not get to have a moment to breathe, that I have to make sure everything is taken care of and I cannot take a break. I am not allowed to sleep. Come on now. I'm not allowed to all I'm allowed to do is just be a workhorse and a volunteer. And I keep pointing that out because I don't think a lot of people understand that. I think there's so many misconceptions in the community. They think that school board members, are paid. We're not paid. We're not paid. School board members are not paid. We are volunteers. And we work hard. We work hard in this community, and we do it because we love our kids. And so when people say things like we don't love the kids, trust me, there's no way that I would be putting in this much work as a volunteer in the school district if I did not love the children. That makes absolutely no sense. I put this work in because I love our kids and I fight hard for them. There is no other reason than that. Because there's no benefit to me personally. The benefit is to the children that I fight for and the generations that will come after. That's where the benefit is at, to them. But, I just want y'all to understand that. So please, I had no problem addressing that this morning. Because it was kind of like, you give a compliment and then you slide some shade in there. That's ridiculous. Like I said, I usually don't address things like that so publicly, but that was ridiculous. Come on. I could understand if there's some issues that arise and there's frustrations there, I get it. But to say that, that I'm just picking and choosing who to assist as if I don't know. A lot of these people that reach out to me, I don't even know them personally. So to say that I'm picking and choosing is just ludicrous. I'm sorry. It's ludicrous. Because now you're saying, oh, I know this person or I don't know that person or I have a relationship with this person and not that. Come on now. That's nonsense. I get it that you're frustrated because there's things that might not be going the way they should be going. Let me tell you something. There's things going on in my life right now that I'm not happy with. We all have things going on in our life that we're not so particularly happy with. We all have situations that are in our lives right now and storms and things that we're going through that we're not particularly happy with. We all do. There's none of us out here has the copyrights on going through. None of us out here has the copyrights on struggling and going through situations that make us feel uncomfortable. We are all dealing with tribulations. We're all dealing with tests. We're all dealing with trials. We're all dealing with things that make us feel uncomfortable. So, nobody has the copyrights on that. We all are going through something right now. But please don't make it seem like I'm sitting here going eeny, meeny, miny, mo, or that I'm looking at a list and saying, who can I benefit? Who can I not? Nah, listen, when people reach out to me, I advocate for them. And then there's been situations in the past where things have happened, violence and what have you. And I've reached out to the families and I've said, would you like me to help you? Would you like me to advocate for you? And they'll say, oh, no, we're good. We're good. We don't need it. And then they come around later on and say, why didn't I help them? Why didn't anybody speak out for me? I reached out to you and I got the receipts. I have the messages. I asked you when the situation took place. I asked you, do you want me to advocate for you? I can set up a rally. I can get some petitions going. I can really get this thing on the road and have people understand what you went through and really make some noise about this. Oh no. We good. We don't need that. We don't need anybody. We don't need anybody to do that. So okay, cool. If you guys are all right, fine. But then they come out later on and ask, how come I didn't help them? You told me you didn't want me to help you. So what am I supposed to do? It's like, how do you tell somebody that you don't want them to help you, then get upset with them when they don't help you? You just told them you didn't want their help. If you tell somebody that you don't want their help and they move on, you don't get to say, oh, why you didn't help me. You told me you didn't want my help. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't force the help on you. I can't force the advocacy on you. If you don't want me to advocate for you, because I advocate the way I advocate. That's one thing about me. I'm not gonna let anybody tell me how to advocate, but I will respect if a family or an individual says that they don't want their story published. I will respect that, and if they don't, I won't put it out there. But I have my way of advocating, and that's just the way I do it. You know, I'm not gonna apologize for that. But you know, I did want to say that this morning. Getting ready to get a move on, head back to Patterson, but I definitely wanted to put that out because I felt like that's something that needed to be addressed. Because, you know, statements like that, you know, if they're not addressed, you know, it begins to fester, and people begin to take on this notion that one person is supposed to be able to take care of everything, you know, by themselves, you know, with just about one hand tied behind his back. Because it seems that way sometimes, you know. But you guys have a great day. Again, I just had to put that out there, man. It's no disrespect to anybody, but my work is sincere, and everything I do for this community is sincere. Everything, you know. Okay, every second that I put into fighting for this community is sincere. I couldn't care less what any detractors or haters have to say. Every ounce of work that I put in this community is sincere. Okay, I do it from my heart. I don't do it for anything else but from my heart. If it's out there in the community, if it's out there on the news, that's what it is. The news picks up stories. But the advocate calling me, but I'll take that call later. I don't know who's calling me, but I'll take that call later. But I'm saying what I'm saying, man. I'm not, you know. Yeah, once that message came to me, I said, oh no, that has to be addressed. And this is the way I chose to address it. All right? So y'all have a good day.